There you go, Joe. Sorry, I'm a
Thank
little
you.
shaky.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a bad patch in time.
Yeah, and it was very sudden.
Yeah.
So she just got sick in January. So they went on a cruise. They came back from the cruise, and then starting to feel lethargic and tired. And my mum was not lethargic or tired sort of person.
Yeah.
But she just thought, oh, she's just run down, because she's working at Happy Valley Retreat over at Fraser Island, and she does a lot.
She's a busy woman.
Yeah, but she loves to be busy, but she just thought, oh, she was run down. And then just other things started happening, so she went to the doctor, and then they picked up something. They couldn't really work out exactly what it was. So they ended up putting her in hospital because she started to swell up and her skin started to go yellow. And then eventually they realised that she had an autoimmune illness that attacks your liver. And they put her on immune suppressants. And then she had chickenpox as a child, and then she ended up getting shingles because her immune system was down. And apparently if you're like over 60 and you get shingles, one of the side effects, especially if it's on your head and face where hers was, you can get pneumonia, and that's ultimately what killed her.
It must have been very painful to watch her going through all of those things. Must have been very hard on you all.
It was tough just seeing her like that, you know, because
she'd always been so vibrant and strong.
Yeah,
and busy.
And took sort of pride in how she looked and always looked nice, and just to swell up and go yellow, I just felt sorry for her, for that as well. So it was, but my dad, he couldn't be here today. We discussed everything that we would like to do. We've chosen a photo as well, I'll show if you want to use that. And he wants her to be cremated.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've looked at urns on the internet. I don't know if you organise that side of things.
No, that'll be Karen, the funeral director.
Okay,
but
good.
I can share that information with her for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so Kerry, what was Mum's name?
So her name was Kathleen.
Yeah.
Gotje. So it's Gotje.
Okay. Did she go by Kathleen?
It's interesting because she was an orphan and she actually had several names through her life. Most of her life she was Heather, Lillian, Margaret. She didn't get a birth certificate until she was trying to get married the first time, and they wouldn't let her get married without a birth certificate.
Yeah.
She had actually found out she was a year older than she thought she was, and that her birth name was Kathleen Margaret Gilmore, which she never knew. So, and she chose the name Tracy when she was in her early 20s because she just liked the name Tracy, and so that's what she was called most of her life until she started using Kathleen later on, because when you get employed by different people, they'd want
your birth certificate.
So
what did your dad call her?
Tracy.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Okay. And what date did she pass, honey?
So that was 3 days ago, and I'm just...
You've lost
I don't even know when that is.
Yeah.
What's today?
Today's the 7th.
Okay, so...
We'll check the calendar later.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 days. Oh, so it's all very, very fresh. Very fresh. And you're Kerry. You go by Kerry?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, did Kathleen, Mum, did she talk with you about how she might like a funeral to be? Did she have any?
So right up until she died, she thought she was going to live.
Okay.
Because Mum always discussed with me how she was scared of death.
Yes.
And that she would hate to know she was going to die. So when they told us the day before that she wasn't going to be coming out of the hospital, I said to my dad and my husband who were there, if you can't go in there and to see her without making her believe everything's okay, then don't go in, because we don't want her to know that she's going to die. And they agreed with that because she didn't like that. And then I told all the hospital staff, indicate to her at all that she's not going to survive. So she didn't know, but she had discussed that she did want, when she did die, a cremation.
Okay.
And she also was always so worried when we talk about this stuff that she'd get burnt when she's still actually alive, or buried when she's alive and she's not actually dead. So when I went in there, I sat with her and I looked at her chest and I put my head down and felt for any breath, because I just want to do what she would want, you know. So I made sure, okay, she's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any concept of how you would like her funeral, how you'd like her to be remembered in her service?
Probably just as a fun, energetic woman who just didn't have any fear of anything.
Yeah.
I can remember one day we went to the YMCA because we do aqua classes, and the instructor didn't show up, and she took the class.
Oh wow!
Like, she's like, oh well, we know what we're doing. Let's grab the noodles, and you know what I mean. And she could get up and sing karaoke. I mean, I used to hide under tables as a child because she'd be up with there'd be a band, we'd be at a pub, and she'd go, oh, can I sing a song? And now she couldn't sing, but she'd be up there singing, embarrassing the hell out of me. But what a woman, you know.
Oh,
yet I'm
wow.
so different. Like, I'm really nervous about everything, whereas she'd just be, oh yeah, what do you want me to do? Oh, okay, and get in there and do it. So just
That's marvelous.
yeah.
Gosh.
And I think being an orphan and then having the foster carers, and then she was mistreated by them, so she ran away, and she basically sort of she survived.
And she became very resilient.
Yes.
Because of
And
it.
just did whatever she...
Wow. So...
But very caring and like compassionate about people. If she thought somebody needed some food, she'd give them some food, or invite them in for a meal, you know. She didn't like anybody to starve because she had starved so much as a child. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gosh, that's amazing. It makes you think how easy a life you've had when you hear that. So I take it then that she probably did lots of jobs across her working life.
Oh yeah, mostly physical jobs.
Okay.
So I can remember going to work with her when I was a kid, and it was at a local strawberry farm around here. So my dad, so she's been married 3 times.
Okay.
So my dad was her second husband, and well, I thought he was, but I found out that he's not actually my dad. I know, we won't need to mention that at the funeral.
Okay.
But
can I just ask, do you just want me to talk about her current husband? Do you want me to bring him into the service?
Yes, that would be great.
In words, do you want me to name her previous husbands?
I probably wouldn't name them,
Are there
but
other
you could,
children?
yes. But I've got 2 half brothers from her first husband, so maybe you could mention that she had been married 3 times, and her first husband she had Alan and Dean. Yep. So her first child was Alan.
Yep.
And then she had Dean.
Will they be coming to the service?
Dean, we can't track him down.
Okay.
We can't find him anywhere. Nobody's seen him for years. We've got no idea where he is, but we've tried. But Alan will be with his family. So and then you could say I was from her second husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that.
But Rick, she's been with since I was like 5 when they met. So back in 19. So they got married in 89, but they were together. Well, probably 3 years before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
and she's
So
been with him ever
Rick's
since.
your dad?
He's my stepdad. Yeah.
Oh, Rick's your stepdad.
Yeah.
Oh, the second husband.
Yeah.
You don't want to mention their names?
Don't need to mention their names.
Okay. So she was pretty sick. So she had pneumonia. Pneumonia took her.
Yeah. And so she actually had, she was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis, which is apparently common in women more than men.
Okay.
And can be triggered from hormonal stages or just a trigger in your life.
Okay.
And it's hereditary, so at least I can look out for the signs of that. Yeah. But then complications.
And she passed very quickly, you said. In the end, she passed quite quickly.
She did, because they told us.
She was only diagnosed in January.
Yes, and then, she was living with me because they'd been up on Fraser Island working for so long, they'd rented their house out.
Okay.
So they came back with their caravan and they stayed in my house, and then she just got worse, and so they put her into the PA hospital. But she didn't last that long, and I was very relieved that once they said that she wasn't going to recover, that it was really quick. Yeah, because you just didn't want to see her suffer any longer.
Yeah. Do you want me to mention her illness, or do you want me to not mention it? You want me to play it down? What? Do you have any feelings about that?
Not really. You could mention it. Just say that she was all of a sudden she got an autoimmune illness.
Yeah. And
due to complications with that, then whatever you like. I think it's good for the people that come along to get a bit of an understanding.
An insight, yeah. Were you able to be with her when she passed, or had you?
Well, that's the thing. So they told us the day before, they called us into a room and they said that she wasn't going to come out, but it could be days or a week, because they could see that her lungs were not doing their job. And I asked them, I need to see what you're talking about. So they showed me the x-ray, and we could then see from that how much actual lung was actually working. And so they obviously know sort of time frames. And so that night, my stepdad and my husband went, and I stayed with her as long as I could, and I said, okay, well, you need to get some sleep now. So I'm going to go home and I'll come back up tomorrow. And then when I left, I just broke down, because I'd been holding it all in. We were doing exercises with her. I was doing exercise, don't forget let's do some physio, because that's going to help you and you're going to get out of here. So she didn't have any idea. And I said to the nurse, I said, just give her as many painkillers as you need to. I don't want her in any pain. Then I just, on the way home, I just broke down and I was just praying out loud, and I'm saying, please, God, give me the strength to just do this and support her, or just take her as fast as you can, because I don't want her to suffer. And then I got a phone call at 6 a.m. the next morning, and I answered it, and they said, you're going to have to come up, because this is it. And I raced out to the caravan, got my stepdad, and we just got in there and headed up. But by the time we got there, she had gone. But she was out of pain. She wasn't she just went off to sleep. So we just got to remember that, she wasn't in any pain. They dosed her up. She just went off to sleep. And even if we were there, it is, you kind of wish that you had been there, but then I don't know whether I'd actually want to remember that part. By the time we got there, they had cleaned her all up and had her all tucked in, and just her arms out, and just really peaceful, Yeah. So I'm actually grateful for that.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. We all know it's coming, but the reality is pretty grim. So she was an orphan, Kerry. Did she have any siblings that she found out about? No siblings?
No, nothing that we know.
Right.
She never really, I don't think, really tried to track anything down. I think she just thought, well,
she might not have ever had the power.
I'll just
And then when she
live
was
my
an
life.
adult, didn't want to revisit.
And by the time she found out what her real name was, even, well, she was getting married and starting her own family, and so she probably just never
moved past it.
Yeah,
It's amazing. So, was Mum religious?
It's interesting, very interesting, because she would talk to me when I was younger about different things, and she always was, you know, pretty good morally, act like, keep your legs closed, be a lady, and, whatnot. And she would talk about different things, but because I'm actually a Jehovah's Witness, and when I started studying the Bible, and I would talk to her about stuff, she would get pretty angry about it. But I think because her foster family that she was with for the few years when she was younger were religious, but treated her so badly, and the dad, that she knows there's a God there, but she can't stand religion.
Why God couldn't take care of her.
Yeah, so that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I just didn't talk to her about it. But she definitely believes in a God.
Okay.
But she's angry at him, I think, and also religion and people who are religious but they don't act like they're hypocrites.
Yeah.
So that tainted her against actually religion.
Yeah. That's understandable, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So you don't really need to include too much religious stuff.
Do you know? Well, that's why I'm asking. And then the fact that...
And neither does my stepdad. He's not religious. So
okay. So
I want him to... This is for him as well.
Yeah.
So I don't want, to make it about me and do anything.
No.
Yeah, it's all about her and what she would want.
So sort of the reason I ask is, do you want... sort of in closing of the ceremony, do you want a prayer? Some people prefer a poem, a beautiful poem. Some people don't want any sense of religion in their service for their loved one, but some people do.
I know.
So that's why I ask.
If it was just about me, I would like a prayer, but considering my stepdad, I'm thinking maybe we could just have the poem.
A poem? Yeah, sure.
Because I'll be doing my own prayers anyway.
Yep. Okay. So, are you aware if Mum had any favourite poems?
I've actually started writing a poem myself.
Oh, okay. Would you like it
I
included
do like
in?
That would be great.
Okay.
I like writing poetry.
So in the service, would you like to read that, or would you prefer me to read it for you?
I think I'd prefer you to read it.
Sure, yeah. No
I wouldn't be
problem.
able to do it.
Yeah, okay.
I have a way of sometimes compartmentalizing things to get through tough times.
Yeah.
And not showing my real emotions, but I don't know how I'm going to react on the day.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm tough now for my stepdad.
Yeah.
But how I'm going to be on the day, and then after that, I don't know.
Well, the day is about the grieving. The day is for the grieving and the saying goodbye and the recognising what a wonderful person she was to you all. And so that is the perfect time for tears and sadness. And you'll be surrounded, assumingly, by loved ones, people who love and care for you and Dad. And that's very heartwarming. It may be tearful, but it's heartwarming.
I don't want to leave his side. I don't think he could. I don't want him to sit there by himself or I get out of a chair or anything. I want to be with him and support him the whole time.
Yeah, so if you just let me have that when I'll write
email it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
sort of how I express myself sometimes, and I'm emotional, and I just like to jot things down.
Yeah, that's a great way to deal with it.
Yeah,
it really is very good. Now, normally most people choose to have a photographic interlude, and they
Oh.
normally put nice music, a favourite piece or of yours or hers, preferably. You know
Okay. So what I've done, because I know this might seem weird, but I'm pretty organised. But the thing is that I just want this to be perfect for her,
Yeah,
and I want to get it right.
Yeah.
Because she would love the thought that she had a really awesome funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't we all?
Oh
hey?
yeah. So I've picked the songs. Me and my dad have picked the
Okay.
songs, and my husband's auntie, she did a really nice like DVD photo thing for my husband's grandma.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. So she's agreed to do it. So I've got all heaps of
wonderful.
photos. Yes.
So can she supply that on
Oh,
a
yeah.
USB or something?
Yes. She's
And is she going to dub the music in?
yeah, she knows how to do it all.
Fantastic.
So we were thinking when people are coming into the place at the start. I've been to a few funerals, so I know sort of kind of an idea.
Yeah.
We've got
and that kind of idea can be uniquely your own. You can go with thoughts of what other people have chosen, but you can put your own tweak on it to make it just special for your mum.
Yes, that's it. My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
Because she loved that song. That's the one out of the
That's
Titanic.
Beautiful, yeah.
And You'll Never Walk Alone.
Oh, yes.
Just could be playing at the start.
Yep.
And then at the end, we've got Wings of a Dove.
I don't know if I know that one.
On the wings of a snow.
Oh, yeah. It's country.
Yeah, well, she loved country, so
Yeah.
I was raised with country.
Yeah.
And You're My Best Friend. And I thought that would be so good because my stepdad and her used to play that. And, you know, there's kind of something for them.
Special.
Yeah.
Would that be the one you'll use in the photographic interlude, do you think? No. Oh,
actually, yes, that's it. So that's what he wanted. So Wings of a Dove and You're My Best Friend with the photos.
With photos.
And right at the very end is Goodbye, My Love, Goodbye.
Ooh. Now, is there a particular singer?
Oh, I did. I've listened to a couple of versions of things, and I think we know which ones we want.
Okay.
Can I email you that or text you that?
Yeah,
I'll,
sure.
I'll pick which ones and I'll.
Yep.
So
because that can make a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
To how they sound, who sings it.
That's it. I think I know which one. I've got to remember the guy's name.
There's time.
Wings of a Dove and You're My Best Friend. We're going to give to Auntie Marg, and she's going to include that, so you don't need to worry about that. And then I can give you copies of the songs that we choose if you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's great on a USB stick.
Yeah.
And then it can just be plugged into this funeral home's PA system.
Okay.
Yeah. That's great.
Because we're gonna, if it's okay with you, do it at Mount Cotton.
Yes.
And that's where we've been to a few funerals, so
you know what it's
that's
like.
familiar.
Yeah. And
close for us all.
Yeah. Now, what brought her joy, Kerry?
Gardening.
Okay.
Fishing.
Okay.
Exercise. Just not really sitting still, just moving around, and she used to love going to shopping centres, so she'd be like, oh, do you feel like going to Carindale today? And I'm like, sure. And we pretty much just walk around and look at stuff. We wouldn't really buy much. Yeah, and then we have lunch.
Yeah. And
she had a favourite lunch spot. So at Carindale, it was like in Japanese, like she'd get teriyaki chicken and rice or something, and then at a different shopping centre she'd have this particular thing.
Right. Very good.
So I've been to a few shopping centres in my
Very
time.
good.
She used to give me days off school and take me to shopping centres, and I'd come home with a Barbie. I had so many Barbies.
Really?
Yes.
Always a Barbie.
It was usually a Barbie. One time I got a Cabbage Patch doll, but that was after I'd been in hospital, and Cabbage Patch dolls were around. So I was actually pretty spoiled. I think because she didn't have
She
much.
didn't have anything.
She tried to give me everything, and you don't really appreciate it until you're older. And you've got your own children. What she did, yeah.
Yep. Sounds like a pretty special mum. What mattered to her most?
Probably
not dying.
Yeah,
by the
not
sounds.
dying, living.
Yeah.
Living. Getting up every morning and just giving it a go. And
yeah.
We played tennis together for a few years at Redland Bay in a tennis comp. We were in the lowest division, but we didn't care. She's very competitive.
Okay.
Yeah, she if she was playing with one of the other people on the team and they missed something, she'd be like,
really cross.
It was all over her face. Like she couldn't hide the fact that she was annoyed, and it did kind of upset a few of them. Very competitive woman.
Oh dear.
She did everything like 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's make her funeral 100%, Kath, hey?
Yes.
Any other quirks that you want me to mention? Did she have any particular sayings, or did she do any particular little thing like regularly that is just synonymous with mum?
I'm trying to think of something.
Sometimes they can't, the memories don't come back.
I know,
there might be something like, did she have a particular thing that she always said to her grandkids, or some people, every time they leave, they say the same thing every time, or anything like
Everybody
that?
was mate to her, and I have unfortunately picked that up. She's very Australian.
Bad thing.
So everything, yeah, g'day mate, how are you, sort of thing, and I do the same. So
It's not a bad thing, is it?
No. They'd go to Tamworth every year, and she'd go in the big line dancing thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually did line dancing together for a while at Cleveland at the Donald Simpson thing. So,
did Rick line dance too?
No.
Okay, so you and Mum.
He would have a
Mum
beer.
on her own.
Yes.
Okay.
He would sit back with a beer, and we would be the ones doing that.
Favourite things to do?
She loved listening to music, any opportunity to get up and dance. She'd dance with anybody. So I remember when we lived at Stradbroke Island when I was younger, and we'd go over to the Bowls Club on a Friday night, and they'd be, dancing and whatnot. She'd just spot some, old woman or old man that looked like they wanted to get up and dance, and she'd just go, have a dance. And she'd drag them up and dance with them, and she likes to get everyone involved in things like
it just springs to mind. I'll ask the question because this can be a celebration of life, and I think we should make it a celebration of life more than a funeral.
Yeah. She would love that.
You could do something in your service that is really mum, like, I don't know.
I know.
If anything springs to mind, that to make the service uniquely your own, just because it's going to be at, Mount Cotton Garden of Remembrance and in the chapel that you have been to, your service for your mum doesn't have to be the same staid, quiet, tearful service that you've seen or you've been to, you could do something. You could liven it up a little bit. I'm not saying you're going to have a gangbang party, you know,
do you think
but
it would be appropriate if we had somebody out the front when people were gathering together, maybe just sitting playing guitar?
that would be beautiful.
Is that allowed?
Of course.
I just think that would just really be,
Of course.
you know, somebody live, just playing some
piece of
light
music that
country music or
like.
something.
Yeah.
And it would make everybody else, I think, feel relaxed and
not so somber.
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah, and that's just her. Like any opportunity, she paid for me and her to go on a cruise.
Yep.
And we went to every gig. We went to every opportunity where you could listen to music and dance. We were there. And we didn't sit, we danced. And we dressed up in everything because she has to dress up in everything. So we did the country night, dress in country gear, the Hawaiian night, everything. So if I could get somebody who could sit and play some music, I mean, if that's okay.
I can help you find someone.
Because I know they allow a certain amount of time before you go in.
Yeah, they do. The window is tight, but we can keep the the words of the talking and the poem quite condensed, and you can have the musical.
Well, we're paying for the refreshments because we did that at another funeral, and that was really good because people could just hang around, and there are some people who are travelling, but they've got to get out of there.
You could always ask your guitar person to play then as well.
Just lightly in the background.
You can also request that people come dressed colourfully, rather in a particular colour. If Mum had a particular favourite colour.
Her favourite colour was green. That's what I've got.
Yeah.
The photo of her wearing a green dress.
So, I mean, you can enliven it as much as you want within reason.
Yeah.
But you can make it a really special celebration of her life. So
that would be awesome.
Lots of thoughts. You mull that over a bit more because I mean the request for colour can be done when you let people know.
Wear something green.
Yeah.
If you've got something green.
Yeah.
Put something green on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
and orange nails. She was always painting her nails some kind of orange tint, even if it's like a salmon orange or
Okay. Would you
would
like me to wear those colours as well? Do that as well?
You can do whatever you like.
All right.
No pressure.
So just in recap, do you want me to enlarge on any particular part of her life? Play down the young years and play up your memory of her happy years when she had you.
She was really she was just she was very happy to have family around and to go on cruises. That was her favourite thing to do.
Okay.
And we did a family one at one point with my brother and sister-in-law, and that was really good. She pretty much just continued working so she could pay for cruises.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I've got enough. Is there anything else? You've got some things there.
I've just got this photo. So I know that you do little pieces of paper you hand out to everybody with a photo. So I don't know if you would want to include that on it. And I was hoping to have this on the coffin.
Yeah. Sure.
So I don't know if you want to take that and pass it on to
pass it
somebody.
to
That
Karen,
way they've got it now.
She'll handle that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lovely
Just have to
photo.
wipe the dust off it. But that was taken on a formal night on one of the cruises,
Okay.
and she always dressed up.
Lovely.
So she would lay by these really nice dresses from like Noni B and places, so that she had something new for this cruise that she could wear on the formal night.
Yeah, so she get the new photo.
Yes, exactly. And she would buy all the photos. So she always made sure that she had enough money that she could give tips to everybody. She always wanted to give everybody on there that was, you know, served her and everything a really nice tip for them and their family.
Bless her.
Yeah, and
that's a woman who's come from having nothing, isn't it? Hey?
Yeah, and she was just so lovely to all of them.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. A really kind person. Anything else do you want? Oftentimes we can,
I think, definitely have to mention what a hard worker she was.
Yeah.
She worked on the strawberry farm. She worked at Golden Cockerel for years, and she did heavy lifting. She ended up hurting her back there, actually, because she would just get in and do the work that the men were supposed to do, because she didn't want to stand around waiting. And then she worked for Australia Post. Oh, this is my kitty. Sorry, you're not allergic to cats. Yeah, so. Oh, I know.
You miss your grandma too, do you?
Yeah. I mean, Mum was more of a dog person. She's like, really, you want to get a cat? And I'm like, no, you know, I just like to look at the little kitty.
She's pretty.
Yeah. So, then she was at Australia Post, and I would work with her at Christmas time because she was doing all day long, and we would have to cart big boxes of wine up people's driveways, and they would order all these boxes of wine, and she'd just keep going. I mean, she's not young. Yeah. And then she was working in the kitchen at Happy Valley and cooking. So, and one time
she liked being on Fraser.
Yes, and she loved cooking.
I guess she'd be able to do her fishing too while she was on Fraser.
Yeah, and she one day the chef in there said, "Oh, we've run out of caramel for some sort of caramel thing," and she's like, "What have we got in the cupboard?" And she went and looked, and she got out the ingredients and she made caramel, and he's like. He got really annoyed.
And he was a chef.
Yes. He got annoyed that she had made, and it was nice caramel, that she'd gone and made the caramel because he used to buy caramel.
Yeah.
Whereas she made it. It just kind of, I think, bothered him.
Yeah.
And sometimes she would step on people's toes because she would like, oh, I know how to fix this. And get in there and fix it. She was a leader.
Do it. She was a doer, a real doer.
But maybe not thinking about, oh, I might offend that person, you know. And she wasn't doing it in a way to do that. She was just, well, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
And she'd just
do it. Done. Let's get it done.
Oh, we can do this. Yeah, nothing was too hard. Not too much trouble. So.
She sounds like an amazing lady.
Yeah.
Really amazing lady. So we'll have I'll based on everything you've told me, I will write up a service. I'd like you to proof it and make sure you're happy with it.
That'd be great.
I'll search. So normally I would introduce myself and speak about the person who's passed. Do you want me to mention the names of her grandchildren?
No.
No need?
I don't think so.
Talk about her. We normally have the photographic interlude sort of after I've done most of the speaking about the person she was. And then in closing, normally you would include a poem, but some families like to do a couple of poems, and they would often like another family member to read a poem or come up and talk about Kathleen themselves?
Mm.
Do you think there's anybody in the family who's likely to want to do that?
Possibly. They're all a bit of an older crowd, to be honest. But there are going to be more support people coming along for us that might do something on behalf of me or my dad.
Okay, so you would like me to invite anyone to come and have a couple of words, or have you got someone who's renowned for rambling for a really long time?
My cousin Terry is really well spoken and has done speaking at funerals before. So I thought possibly about him saying something on behalf of my dad, because it's a man speaking sort of on behalf of another man, and it might be good. So I could jot down a few things for him.
You want to just give him a call and ask him would he like to do that for you?
Yeah.
And I will sort of leave him a little window of time.
Yeah.
Maybe just before the photographic display.
And it'd only be a few minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes max.
Yep.
Just to say maybe a few memories. Also, because they were, so my cousin Terry, his dad, my uncle Barry and Auntie Norma, they were sort of the closest family. So, and we would all go to Stradbroke together for holidays, and you know they'd fish and they'd cook and they'd put pigs on spits and stuff and have parties and whatnot. So he might be able to think of some of those fun times to mention. Yeah. So but if I tell him just to keep it 5 minutes maximum, and he is coming to the funeral, so I don't think he's going to mind doing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And oftentimes afterwards at the morning tea, the wake, that's when it's a really good time for sharing. Everybody's more, the formalities over, and they're really much more inclined to do the sharing about memories.
Yes.
And that's just as special as during the service. So,
we don't. Well, I don't really want it to be a long, drawn out thing.
No.
I just want to focus on those main parts of her life and what she was all about. And then, like you said, afterwards, just let people relax and discuss and mourn and talk about her in their own way and their experiences with her. To each other, which I think is encouraging.
Lovely. So you'd like me to investigate the guitar player for you?
Actually,
do you think you know someone?
Yeah, I know somebody who plays, and I'm sure
I
they could
think
do it.
You should ask them, unless you specifically want those recorded versions of some of the other tracks, like My Heart Will Go On. I think that has a lot of
that one we probably need.
That one maybe because it's got a lot of other sound.
Yes.
But some of these may lend themselves to guitar.
Actually,
and
like
you could
the
just
one as we're coming out, he'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
So maybe he could actually play that live as people are coming out, rather than.
And you know, we could include him like walking up the aisle and coming to the front.
That would be great.
As things wrap up, as the curtains close, and then people get up just to leave the chapel. Yeah. You know?
And he's coming along more as a support for me.
Yeah.
Because he's one of my friends and didn't know Mum that well. So in terms of being too emotional, I think he'd be okay to do that, because he's more of a support person. And if given the opportunity to play his guitar and, you know, sing a couple of songs, he'd probably love that.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Sound him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's a brilliant idea. And I think Mum would be really chuffed.
Live music?
Really chuffed.
At your funeral?
For her.
Are you serious?
For her. This is for me.
Actually, my stepdad, he'll be blown away by that.
Nice.
He would love it. Because he loves just watching people play guitar, and we wouldn't. I spent a lot of time at Redland Bay pub as a child, because I used to drink a little bit and love the band. But people would end up back at our house with the guitar.
Oh, nice.
And we're talking every weekend.
Oh, nice.
Somebody would be playing guitar in my house.
Oh, wow.
I hated Slim Dusty because I got bombarded with him and just other country music. But I grew to love it later on.
Yeah.
But because it was always around, that sort of, But I think he would even love it. Like, he would love it for her. So it was such a good idea.
Let's do it. Let's make it really
I've
special.
never even thought about that.
Really, really special for her. Okay, well, I think I've got enough, and I think it will be fantastic. And I don't think it'll be too tearful. I think, you may find that when you first see people when they're arriving, but if you've got the guitar guy playing, it may just help loosen up, like
just set a different
tone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Thanks,
That's
Kerry.
awesome. I'll get the poem to you. I've nearly finished it.
Yeah.
It's just I've been up at night,
beautiful.
Just writing it, and I didn't even I wasn't writing it for this, but I'm like,
it's just poured out of you.
I should just use this because it's my contribution to my mum.
Yeah. That's lovely. That's really lovely. Okay. All right.
Thanks for coming.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll let you know the urn that we've chose is actually a teddy bear.
Okay.
So because my stepdad just thought he didn't want like some piece of, I don't know, crockery in his house. It's actually a teddy bear that we found under urns, and
you could have teddy bear sat on top of the coffin with her picture and some flowers.
That's an idea.
Teddy bear.
Yeah.
And
it depends how because I don't really know the process with urns, whether you can get that like then or whether
it'll be there.
Okay.
It can be there.
Okay.
And something you may like to think about, a lot of people these days, they have someone take a couple photos. Now, it may seem a little...
No, I'm a photo person.
It's, initially when I first heard it, I thought, who would want to take photos?
I know it sounds like that, but I actually take photos of everything.
Yeah.
Like, I took photos of her in hospital when she was really unwell.
Poorly.
It's just my way.
Yeah, okay. So
I'm not opposed to
we
that.
stage that, and if we can get people wearing green, and your guitar player, it's going to, and maybe the orange nails.
And the teddy bear is because she collects teddy bears.
Okay.
So she's got a whole room in the house. She's actually got some gollywogs too. She like gollywogs, but teddy bears, and I'm talking expensive ones that you buy from the gift shops that have got this mark under their foot.
Yeah.
And she has them different clothes for them that she would dress them up and put them on little chairs and everything.
Nice.
She's like a child. She's like, they're my teddy bears. I love my teddy bears.
It's probably partly because she missed out a lot on
possibly
in childhood.
I never thought of it like that.
And teddy bears are synonymous with comfort.
Yeah.
For little children.
There's a grandpa one with glasses sitting in a rocking chair. And she had names for them all. So she's not loopy, I swear, but she just liked these teddy bears, and I think it was just something she'd do. If she had spare time, she'd dress the teddy bears, wash their other clothes, and have them all just set up. And so the teddy bear urn, I'm glad my stepdad actually chose that because I think it's just so appropriate.
I'm wondering if possibly in that little order of service, this picture on the front, and maybe on the back cover, a picture of your teddy bear, the teddy bear.
Yeah.
If you found it on the internet, we can use the picture from there.
It's a brown one with the red bow, but she didn't like red, so I thought I'll get rid of the red bow and put a green one on it.
Nice.
And one of her necklaces.
Nice.
Yeah, so she used to wear a locket, and it had a picture of me on one side and a picture of my stepdad on the other side. So we put that around its neck. And then people would because a lot of people who come to the funeral, they don't really know what's going to happen to the person afterwards. So if they can see, she's going to go into this teddy bear, it kind of might be good for them too.
Yeah. It's nice. It's it's going to be uniquely Kathleen.
Mm.
It's going to be specially designed for Kathleen, right down to teddy bear.
And she'd want some sort of a show.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I'm doing this.
So we can't have streamers and
I know.
and confetti or something.
Yeah, we'll all get up and do line dancing afterwards. Honestly, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kerry.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Okay.
I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time.
No. All good.
Right. Okay, well, thank you very much, Jo.
Thank you.
Can I give you? Yes, please.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
welcome. Welcome.
I won't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm really happy that.
Make it really special.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
Yeah.